Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition with Chaos Counseling. Abby is out for the evening, and I'm going to have, because of that, I'm going to have some extra time alone at home. Words. What? And since I had to cut the stream on Saturday kind of short, I figured this is a good way to kind of make up for that. So, yeah.
Nothing to report.
Yeah, last time we were playing, we were exploring the hinterlands. Because I did not have enough power to advance the story just yet. Because I did kind of want to advance the story a little bit, just because... Oh, exclamation point. Because at this point in the story, Cullen is staring down the... I forget his name. I think it's Rodrigo, I think his name was. And you can't engage with Cullen until after the story advances a little bit past that. But once I advance the story to the next bit, I can start recruiting all of the extra... all the other companions. Okay, this is something that I don't love in this game. But if I can start recruiting the rest of the companions, I can start interacting with Cullen to the full extent. But anyway, so in the past 2 Dragon Age games, the way lockpicking has worked, it's based mostly on your rogue's cunning skill.
You'll be wanting to speak to my
That's
husband.
not the case in this game anymore. What happens is that in this game, the increased bag size, the ability to pick more advanced locks, those are all tied into the war table, which we did a little last stream. And you need to unlock perks on the war table. The problem with that, the problem I have with that simply boils down to the fact that it takes a while to up the to get enough war table perks to really do anything with that. And 2, I usually am like, okay, I need to get the perks that increase my bag. Anyway, but yeah, so this is the...
I served Arleman for 30 years as horsemaster. I hear your Inquisition is looking for mounts.
It is. Can you help us?
Not at the moment. I can't just send 100 of the finest horses in Ferelden down the road like you send a letter.
Yeah, that's fair.
The bandit between here and Haven would be on them like flies on crap.
Yeah.
You'll have mounts once I know they won't end up as a cold winter's breakfast.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you have a problem with me personally, I'd like to know about it.
What? This because I called you a Haller rider? Those Haller are damn majestic beasts. I'll give my right arm to ride one. My wife Elena manages the farms and Bron's in charge of my guards. They'll tell you what they need. Until then, you deserve something better than whatever knock-kneed plow-neck they gave you. The chestnut over there is a purebred Ferelden forder. Take care of him, and he'll take care of you, Inquisition.
Okay, so now we do have... we now do get a horse. I don't think I can change my mount until I do successfully recruit this guy into the Inquisition.
Trying out one of my courses.
But-
What kind of racing are you talking about?
I set up a course over there with stakes in the ground. It's too narrow to race directly, so I time it with a sandglass. You try to ride the course before I call time.
Fair enough. Sure, why
I'll
not?
try one of your courses.
Wonderful. Get your horse and I'll set up the stakes. You make time, I'll throw in some of the dress money Father gave me. Consider it a donation to the
Wait,
Inquisition.
dress money? Eh, whatever. Let's see. Oh, I couldn't do that before? Okay. Cool. Cool, cool. Okay. Cool. One thing I will sadly say about this game, you cannot fight while mounted at all. It is a little disappointing, but what can you do? Which, to be fair, there might be some people who are not aware of this, but when Skyrim was first released, you could not fight while mounted. So, no, but at least Skyrim had the decency of patching that in eventually. I don't know. Skyrim and Bethesda, I have such mixed feelings about them as companies because, on the one hand, so I recently played through some Skyrim again for no other reason than I felt like it. And there'd been so many patches, official patches to the game, that it was basically like playing a brand new game now. I didn't even have any mods activated, and I felt like the game was brand new. And the only reason I stopped is because one of the story quests glitched and I couldn't finish it. Yeah, goodbye.
I'll speak with you later.
But it is just such a shame to me that this game, well, at the same time, outside of some DLC, you could argue this game at least stayed consistent from release to whatnot. And the fact that this is the only Dragon Age game where you can ride a horse, because I don't think you can ride horses in Veilguard, and I know you couldn't in the first 2 games. But still, it would have been... It's nice to have it at all. Okay. Wrong button. Horse. Get on the horse.
Shouldn't we travel to Val?
There we go.
I heard what my man said. If you want our horses, then we need our farmers back safe in their fields. Since the breach appeared, the wolves have gone mad. They come after our men like beasts with the water sickness. You deal with the wolves, and our farmers will be safe again.
Yeah, I think I can... Oh. Hello, Muffin. Yeah.
How are these wolves acting differently from normal?
Normal wolves go after livestock, come at them with a torch and a blade, and they run. These beasts, though, it's like dark spawn during the Blight, or when the dead rose to attack us.
Oh, yeah. I guess if your husband served Arl Eamon, you would have been at Redcliffe during the zombie attack.
Farewell.
Oh, yeah. By the way, just for those who don't know, let me just quickly pull it up here on the map. You can't see it because I haven't explored it yet, but there's Redcliffe right there, which means the castle is probably, I can't go that far, it's somewhere up in this area. Can we see it from here? I don't think we can see it from here, but yeah. It is actually pretty cool, at least in my opinion, that, where's the wolf? There we go. That, you know, something, let's see, it's 2A. Oh, I did not know, I did not know it was that early for you there. I can never remember the exact time difference between us, but you're at the airport. So, okay. So, I guess that means I didn't wake you up then? Or do I need to let you get back to sleep, man? But, yeah, it was smart, in my opinion, especially given how mixed the response to Dragon Age 2 was, that the first real area you can explore in this game is so close to an area from
You said you had a way to help the refugees.
Dragon Age Origins. I mean, hell, you can actually go into the city of Redcliffe. It's a little different than it was in Origins because there's a lot more you can explore, so I don't think it's like completely one-to-one how it was in Origins. But I'm largely okay with that just because the trade-off is, I don't know, it's a nicer place to explore. And I'm not gonna lie, Baldur's Gate 3 reminds, like, what's going on? Oh, okay, oh crap, that's a despair demon. I may have prematurely walked into a game over, but we'll see what happens. Those things are the... No, wait, no. That's right. Never mind. That's not the demon. I take it back. That's not the demon that I'm thinking of. The demons I'm thinking of are little cloaked dudes. Let's see. Haha, no, I wasn't woken up, but I also don't mind seeing you. You saying don't worry about the time difference. I do appreciate the gesture. Yeah, no problem. I do try to send the message directly to the members in the Discord that I know try to tune into all the streams when possible, because as Val has often told me, Discord and YouTube don't often properly notify them when a video goes up or when I post in the streaming channel, you know? So that's why, like, yeah, you're one of, like, a few people in the Discord that I do personally message when it's like, hey, especially when I'm streaming outside of the normal times, you know? Because I usually don't know when I'm going to be able to stream outside my normal schedule. Anyway. But, so, for long story short, for those who don't know, the first Dragon Age game was made, because BioWare made the first two Baldur's Gate games way back in the day. And then after, yeah, Discord and YouTube do weird notifications, yeah. Made the first two Baldur's Gate games, and when they pitched Baldur's Gate 3 to Wizards of the Coast, for whatever reason they rejected their pitch, and they then turned that rejected pitch into Dragon Age Origins. So amusing to me, purely from an aesthetic standpoint, Baldur's Gate 3 actually reminds me quite a bit of Dragon Age Inquisition, just from an aesthetic point. They are very different games. I can acknowledge Baldur's Gate 3 is probably the better game by a long shot, but I do have to admit I do personally prefer this game to Baldur's Gate 3 by actually not a small margin. Like, again, I like Baldur's Gate 3 quite a bit. But I do vastly prefer this one. And it is just because, again, I do love Dragon Age so much. Also, well, I guess I don't really have an outright also, but I don't have an incredibly traumatizing experience that happened mid-live stream with this game like I did with Baldur's Gate 3. So. And honestly, I'm someone who will actually go to bat for Dragon Age Veilguard, which will be, you know, let's see, I remember Baldur's Gate. Okay, let's not bring up what happened once more, but just acknowledging that hearing Baldur's Gate makes me remember for real. I do need to play through Baldur's Gate 3 again just to cleanse my palate of what happened in the Edgelord stream, but as of right now, I just have other games I want to play, you know? Like, as of right now, just in my free time, just because with me doing Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory as Edgelord, I saw, like, a couple weeks ago, not what I meant. The Nintendo eShop was having a ridiculously good sale on, by the way, I do like this feature. It does actually show the trail of where you've traveled to an extent. Like, it doesn't go forever, but just in case, like, I want to retrace my steps because I saw something, but I didn't have time to stop and actually look at it, you know? I don't know, it's a little thing that I appreciate. Oh, my mistake. But yeah, so I was able to get Digimon World: The Next Order for, like, $10, which was really nice. Which, even though, because I remember when I played through Digimon World: The Next Order the first time, I thought, I'm never going to play this game again. But actually getting it in, you know, on my handheld, I actually have been enjoying the game more than I did that first playthrough. Partially because, A, I actually do have a better idea of what I'm doing, which, by the way, if you guys want to play Digimon World: Next Order, look up how the mechanics work. Like, I know to an extent part of the game's fun is... Okay, so for context, for those who don't know, the Digimon... Let's see. Yeah, no, I get it. Play what you actually feel like and have fun with it, but your fine time, don't mind you suffering through, for example, Sonic 06. Yeah, I can agree with that. Because at the very... And yeah, Sonic 06 was fun because it was mechanically broken and it was cheesy. But, ooh... I was not expecting... Like, I actually was not fully expecting to have as awful an experience revisiting Knights of Azure 2 as I did. Oops. Oh, of course, and they took out Solus, the one who can actually heal us. Because, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm prepared to suffer through this game, but then turn it on, I'm like, oh yeah, the reason why this game is so awful is because of how poorly it treats the LGBTQ plus community and just women in general. So it's like, I can't do this. It's like, especially given the fact that when I first played through the first Knights of Azure game, I just thought it was a game that was kind of fun, didn't really think any more of it. But in the years since playing the first Knights of Azure, I've actually made two friends who are lesbians. I won't name them, of course. Who, no joke, the main characters of the first Knights of Azure game reminded me of heavily. So that's part of the reason I started wondering, I'm like, shit, is it actually a bad thing that I like Knights of Azure? Because am I inadvertently, you know, sexualizing my friend's demographic, if you know what I mean? I ultimately concluded the first Knights of Azure game is not the greatest representation, but is mostly harmless. But the second one, I'm like, they throw everything out the window and it's just like, yeah, we're not going to treat women as people. They're sex objects. And I'm like, I can't in good conscience still keep... Like, I genuinely blocked out how bad the game was. And don't get me wrong, some people might be like, wait, wasn't the whole point of the adding those games to my rotation of the games I'm streaming through is like, aren't you purposely streaming super fan servicey games for the sake of making commentary on them or whatever? I'm like, yes, that is true, but I have lines that I'm, because like, just as an example, someone's like, but you had Dead or Alive Extreme 2 on the list. The Dead or Alive Extreme series is awful. Like, women are literally just boobs. And I'm like, yes, but I'm going to properly tear into it for that.
I'm not familiar with this.
Like, I'm not going to give that game a pass just because, well, okay, let me actually finish the main thought. Not gonna lie, I don't, hold on. I don't like, this is like a new thing you can do. I don't like this mechanic. This is probably one of my least favorite things you can do in the overworld. But, how do I put this? The Dead or Alive Extreme series, it's like, treat women as objects is just a stupid concept, so it's so racism. Yeah, no, I agree. I can't wrap my head around just being okay with that concept in my head. I agree. It's like the reason why I'm willing, like I said, I'm going to put, I mean, I'm probably only going to play the game for maybe an hour and then call it quits too. Like, I'm not going to do a full series on the Dead or Alive Extreme games. I mean, I'm going to play a couple of them because I do have a couple of them. Ugh. Anyway, words. But at the very least, the Dead or Alive Extreme series kind of makes it very clear on the packaging. This is what it is, if you know what I mean. But Knights of Azure, yeah, again, the first Knights of Azure had its fair share of fan service, but it also had characters that just made my heart melt. Like, I cared so much about Arnis and Lily in the first game, and I was just sucked into the world. Like, there was... Knights of Azure could have just been lame fan service, women are just meat, lesbians are hot, or whatever, but it was more than that. So when a sequel comes along and is not only just in many ways recycling a lot of the plot beats from the first game, but embraces the, the sexualization and fetishization of, queer women, I'm like, that... I can't stand for that, because the first game I truly feel handled it well enough. And if my friends that, like I said, the characters kind of reminded me of played it and said this made me uncomfortable, I would accept that. And I would be like, okay, I won't talk this game up. I won't recommend this game because you are the ones who are actually being affected by it, So when, again, the sequel just completely gets away with does away with the pretense and is just like, oh, boobies. Like, no. Just no. No. And again, I know another one of the games on the list that I'm actually a little excited to play about is a game called X-Blades. I've shared this story before and I am kind of excited. And I do hope it wins in the next poll. I always, because it's an Xbox 360 game, and my Xbox 360 is no longer compatible with our home internet. Meaning, anytime I get a new game for my 360, it means I'm not going to be able to play it with the benefit of the patches that were released periodically for the 360. Because, unfortunately... Come the 360 era, it became the norm for releasing games objectively unfinished. And then they just patched out problems, periodically. So that's why I always am hesitant to get games for the 360. But this one was recommended to me, so I got it, checked it out. And because of the not having those day one patches, I always make sure to plug the game in and play it for a few minutes just to make sure that it'll work okay. I always remember how long swords are physically impossible to pull out unless you do what Link does, just non-clip the sword out. Actually, a good friend of mine explained that like swords that are actually meant to be worn on the back historically have had half sheaths. So like only the tip and bottom half of the sword are actually in a sheath, and the top half directly below the crossguard has a clip that you can just undo, so you can pull the sword off your back without getting caught on yourself. But I plugged X-Blades in. I started the game up, and within 10 seconds, I was laughing so hard, I shut the game off. I'm like, I need to record my unfiltered, raw reaction to this game, because good God, the main character in that game is awful. Like, again, arguably, I'm like, this is probably and should technically be just as offensive to women as Knights of... Ooh, that's actually interesting. I'm wrong about long swords. No, and I was too, because my friend, this friend in question, he did a King Arthur themed photo shoot. So me and Abby came, like, Abby actually has like full plate mail. I just have like padded leather. I just have like padded armor and whatnot. But I specifically bought a sword because I didn't have any like medieval, again, it's a wall hanger sword, just to be clear. Like, every sword that I ever bought, I've always bought it either when I was in my kind of weeaboo phase in high school, or I bought the swords to be a part of my edgelord costume, which means I mostly have a lot of katanas or sci-fi weapons, not something that, you know, a knight of King Arthur would have. Anyway, so I bought myself a super cheap wall hanger English broadsword type sword. And since, again, because of my edgelord costume, I have quite a bit of back straps, so I can, you know, hang my sword off my back, you know? And so I was trying to draw the sword for a dynamic shot in the photo shoot, and yeah, my friend's like, oh, hey, if you want to have a weapon that long on your back, you probably want to get... And he just kind of explained what, you know, someone would actually use to draw a long sword that they're storing on. Because, like, for the most part, because he loves, you know, English swords, armor, knights, etc. He's like, usually when you see someone carrying their sword on their back, it's because they had to travel long distances, and it's much less of a pain in the ass to travel long distances with your sword on your back than it is to have tied to your hip. But if you're going to go into combat, you do want to have your sword on your hip because it's easier to draw that way. But yeah. But anyway, back to X-Blades. Like, again, this character is arguably just as offensive towards women, but she was, her design was awful, and just the dialogue she said within, like, the first, like, 10 seconds, it's like, okay, it's very clear that whoever wrote this character is an incel loser who's never actually spoken to a woman a day in his life. And he's like, this is totally how feminists act, right? Does edgelord's toilet utility weapons count as sci-fi weapons? I'm gonna count them in this case, yes. So yeah, I'm like, I should be horribly offended by this. And I technically am horribly offended by this. But at the same time, it's like, this is just so cartoonishly god-awful. It really was just kind of funny to me, you know? So yeah, it's one of those that I'm like, this game is awful, and I don't expect anyone to like it. In fact, I expect some people to walk away from it being, oh, heck, I'd be perfectly fine if a lot of people were like, I can't sit through this because, basically what happened when you tuned into the Knights of Azure 2 stream, you're like, oh crap, I'm in a public place, and the characters are dressed like that, I probably shouldn't be watching this. But I'm excited to at least play a little bit of it because of how badly it's written. I don't know. It's probably just me being a bit of a masochist, but I can't pretend that I'm not kind of excited to play that hot garbage, you know? Because I enjoy things... What the actual fuck bucket? Okay, I really don't know what is up with all the graphical glitches on the loading screen, guys. I mean, I'm at least grateful that I'm not getting graphical glitches in-game, but still, what the actual hell keeps happening with those? Oh, I think I shared this in... Let's see, cartoonishly awful sounds... Stuff is kind of funny. At least someone put their soul into it, even if their soul they put into the game turned into said hot garbage. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of the difference between why Knights of Azure 2 offends me, rather than, whereas X-Blades, just from what little I saw, just killed me, is because Knights of Azure, at least the first game, there was heart in it. This was a series that, in my opinion, had a lot of heart. So to just see it be nothing, turn into nothing but fan service trash,
The wolves should be back to
hurts.
normal now. They shouldn't be any
But
further
with
trouble.
X-Blades, I'm like, you could just look at the cover and see that this game is garbage. And actually playing the game, you realize, I'm like, oh, this is worse than I thought. But I can't stop laughing. It's like, again, it's like looking at a train wreck. You know it's horrific. You know you probably should look away. But in some strange way, it's like, it's so terrible, I have to keep watching. Because my brain needs to witness this, otherwise I might not believe it myself, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm being... I could just be justifying the fact that... Let's see, I 100% understand exactly what you mean. I don't know. Maybe I'm just justifying being a pervert. Like, I will 100% concede if my friends tell me what you're doing is really perverted. And I'm like, all right, I will concede that point. I will not argue that point. But I truly, like, the reason why I wanted to do these games is because after, like, someone... So, for those who don't know, Sunshine and I streamed Soul Calibur 6 way back... Not stream. This was before... we didn't stream it. But we played Soul Calibur 6 way back in the day. And at one point, the two of us actually stopped playing the game and sat for about 45 minutes and just discussed our problems with women being overly sexualized in video games, especially in fighting games. I mean, I actually had to mute some people, because again, this was pre-stream, but I had to mute some people from making comments because of how toxic some guys who watched the video ended up being. So, but yeah, between that and then just, I've always been hypercritical of overly sexualized female characters in video gaming. So a lot of people were like, hey, have you considered playing? And they gave me kind of a list of games, because these are games that are kind of marketed around the woman being sexy first and a character second, you know? Because they're like, we'd love to hear your opinions on it. And I'm like...
That's what the skull helped you find?
I eventually got enough recommendations that it's like, okay, I am kind of curious to actually do that. So I went out, you know, to my local used game stores, you know, went on eBay, you know, just places where I knew I could get older games that are not necessarily well loved on the cheap. Because, like, just for example, the Dead or Alive Extreme 2 game, that game is not exactly loved, but because it's so infamous and basically just borderline pornography, what's the word I'm looking for? If you would have, let's see, I saw a Temu ad, not the one on stream, but elsewhere, and it says Temu shop like a billionaire. No, thank you. I'd rather not have a criminal record. But like that game, if you'd have punched it into Amazon, like for Amazon, like the asking price is like $200 plus, but I was able to get it on eBay for like 20. Okay. That's what I wanted to finish before we went back to the war table. Yeah, then I was able, like, oh yeah, and it was also, the other thing that kind of got people asking me to do it was I did stream Lollipop Chainsaw a few years ago. And some people were like, oh hey, you stream Lollipop Chainsaw. Here are some other kind of sexy games that you might like playing too, even though I didn't actually like Lollipop Chainsaw that much. But yeah, I found a used copy of, I think it's called One Kabara, which that game has been burned rent-free into my retinas, at least ever since I came across it randomly in Nintendo Power back in the day. Lollipop Chainsaw, interesting name. Yeah, it's an interesting game. I kind of recommend it, even if I didn't love it.
Close to me, I don't actually know.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
My clan never stayed
Yeah,
in one place
Lollipop
for long.
Chainsaw is a parody of hack and slash games, as well as making fun of... It is a game that is making fun of overly sexualized female
I'm told
characters.
some members
I would
of the
actually
clan-
compare it to a game like Bayonetta that makes fun of overly sexualized female characters in gaming. Which, by the way, Bayonetta is a game I am considering playing for the channel.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how
But
I
yeah,
feel
so
now.
that game, like I said, has been burned into my retinas ever since I saw it. Cause I'm like, what the fuck is this game? I was able to find the 360 version at my used game store for pretty cheap. So I grabbed that. I grabbed a game called Bullet Witch, which I initially thought was a Bayonetta ripoff, but
Not entirely.
I was surprised to find out it
I'm
actually
just
came out
curious to
before
see your
Bayonetta.
motivation.
No motivation beyond making things between us less.
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
I like Cassandra.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarre, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I
You're not
joined the
Bayonetta
Seekers of Truth as a
friend
young
who's
woman,
quite-
and was
Who's
with
a
the
quite
Order
thirsty
until
person
they
for
withdrew
Bayonetta.
from
Yeah.
I remained
I
as a
remember
divine
seeing ads for Bayonetta
carrying out
way
the
back in the day
orders
before it
of
came
the
out, and I thought,
Inquisition.
that game looks terrible.
And here we are.
Then
That's all there
the
is to know, my lady.
adult comics started pouring in on the internet, which made me hate Bayonetta even more, but
So you were
now
the
I'm pretty
divine.
amicable towards Bayonetta as a character
The
because
position is normally reserved for
I
Templars of the
guess
Knights
my
of Iron,
hostility
but
towards
my
overly sexualized characters
unusual.
can be mitigated if they're
don't know
properly
the story.
advertised as
Thank the
such.
Maker.
That's
I
kind of
will
my
tell you
biggest
if you
beef.
But it
Like,
isn't
and
a
let me explain what I mean by advertised as
The short
such.
version is
A game
that
like
once
Bayonetta
the
put
previous
Bayonetta's
divine
body
wife,
front and center
my
in the
reward was
marketing.
becoming her right
A game
hand.
like X-Blades has the character in a bikini right on the cover, so on and so forth.
What is your hand capable
You are aware of what you're getting into when you buy the game, you know?
It makes a
But in a game like,
Liliana
say,
and I
Fire Emblem
ascended
Fates,
the
fuck that
divine
game.
reach beyond the Grand Cathedral.
The
We
fact
won't
that they,
question it not.
this is, Fire Emblem has normally been a kid-friendly
tired of
franchise,
it
but
and
they
wanted to
shove
return
so
to
much
the
of Camilla's body
But
in your
just give me a
face,
convincing
if you're playing Conquest at least.
Her
Actually, no,
vision for
in
the
both.
future
Fuck it,
given
I
us.
just fucking... That's why I fucking hate...
It could really change
One of the
things.
main reasons I hate Fire Emblem
Just
Fates as
knew
much as I
you
do
were always coming
is because
along
before
with
that game, well,
tried
it
to
was a
avert
little
it,
an awakening, but
the
not to that
forces arrayed
extreme.
against her
Fire
were too
Emblem was
strong.
pretty free of
Sometimes we have to
gratuitous
break
fan
the bones so it can
service,
be
so
reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in.
I don't
It
know.
was to be the answer.
I guess I'm also a little more okay with it if A, there's a sense of humor behind it, like in Bayonetta, or if, like I said, with X-Blades, from what little I've seen, it's just so bad, it's just kind of funny.
So, what's the story?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that?
Yeah.
It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday.
Oh,
The
so
tale gets
Cassandra
bigger each
actually
time
got, I
you
think, a
go.
prequel novel or
barely
prequel
recognize
comic about
myself
her,
in
which I
it now.
think is the story behind her becoming the right hand. So if you're interested, if you guys end up liking Cassandra, there is a book or movie, I don't remember what it is, but she has her own solo adventure out there in the wild that Abby really likes. Like, all joking aside, I probably would have romanced Cassandra for this stream. Like, even though Solus is my favorite romance, and I love Blackwall, just because of how good of a character she is, if it wasn't for the nudity that you get in her romance route. So we're actually, I just realized I couldn't romance Blackwall because there's nudity in his route too. So you know what? It's probably a good thing I stuck with Solus as my chosen romance, because no sex and nudity happens in his whatsoever.
I think you're a hero, no matter how you down there.
Because again, it's the same reason why I kind of said, even when I streamed Mass Effect Andromeda, despite the fact that my favorite romance in that game is PB, I kind of said her and Jaal's romance were both banned simply due to the fact that, oh, maybe I can change them now, simply just due to the fact that they have nudity. And I really do not like subjecting any of you guys to that sort of thing. Okay, real quick. Do you guys want me riding the Dracolisk or the Hala?
A good horse can make all the difference. The mare I grew up with saved my life.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make a set of armor just so I can clear this quest. Just so it'll stop bugging me while you guys decide. It's like I usually ride the Hala, mostly because I usually almost always play elves in this game for story reasons, but we like variety here. And if you guys want to see something else, I will happily oblige. Sure, we can make that. I also love the armor crafting in this game, and it will become more extensive later, but I don't think it's a... Oh, wait, it's kind of a thing now. But it does become more extensive later that I can kind of color the armor however I want, as long as I have the stuff for it, you know? Alright, I don't actually know if that's better... Wrong thing. Than what I've got. I don't think it is. Oh. Can't wear that yet. Oh, it is. Okay. Sure, I'll throw that on. And then I'm going to move this to... Okay, I actually don't really want to sell it because I like this armor. And yes, I know I can make more of it later, but I'll hold on to them for now. Especially since I'll be I mean, again, I know I'm the only one who can equip it, but... I don't know. I'm fickle, and I'm being kind of weird about it. I acknowledge that's going to go into valuables just because I don't have anyone who can... I don't have anyone who can equip it, and I'm not going to have anyone who can equip it for a while. Okay, good. I'm kind of surprised it gave me the quest to modify armor before it gave me the quest to craft armor, because you think it would be the other way around. Yeah, sad thing is I don't really like this armor as much as I do the... Oh, and anyone who watched my Dragon Age 2 live stream, this is the Aeroshocks armor that he was wearing in the second game. So I do greatly prefer the dragon scales, the dragon scale mail or whatever it was called, but where's the bell? Okay. So at least for the beginning of the game, I am going to be manually selling most of my valuables since, like I said, there's a couple of items I need to complete certain quests that are tagged as valuables. So I don't want to accidentally, you know, sell my stuff that I have been collecting, you know? Yeah, okay. You know, the reason I kept checking that is I'm like, sometimes I've unlocked some more DLC stuff and it can sometimes get put in there, you know? So I don't want to miss it.
The red lyrium we found at the temple.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life.
Sacre
It
bleu.
also turned
Wait, I
Colonel's
was...
Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought. Yeah, not really much.
Yeah, it's interesting having these conversations with Varric now that I've played and completely beaten Dragon Age Veilguard, because we do finally, like, we get so many answers in regards to things like red lyrium and where it came from, and hell, what lyrium is, and so on and so forth.
If you are willing, I would like to locate it.
Oh.
I have marked its location as best I could determine.
I'd like to know more.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try...
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
Two reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas,
Forgot
one must
about
be
that
interested.
detail.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You strengthen your body to deliver and withstand punishment. The muscles are an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
You find the muscles enjoyable?
I meant that you enjoyed having them, presumably.
Ah.
But yes, since you asked.
You said you traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire and and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
Again, I loved that bit of world building.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy.
Like,
Yet, because
yeah, I love talking to Solus in this game because he has more understanding of how magic in this world works than any other character besides maybe Flemeth. So...
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solus.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer either. We'll talk later.
Yeah. Pure, like, again, even if you don't like Solus as a character, which I've made it very clear, I love Solus as a character. He is probably my favorite character in all of Dragon Age, because I just find him so fascinating to talk to.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
Why didn't I speak to... Maybe Liliana wasn't here before, but I just realized this is the first time I've spoken to Liliana.
In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing?
You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the Divine. She led the faithful. She was their heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are.
I know.
I
Some
thought
cruel
I was
joke, isn't
fulfilling
it?
his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again.
There's nothing wrong with
to work then.
opening up
We will
Liliana.
speak later.
You know, one thing that I do think is a little sad about both Liliana and Alistair is that regardless of your actions in Dragon Age Origin, they're always hardened when you encounter, because you can potentially encounter Alistair in this game depending on whether or not you side with the mages or the Templars.
I will keep the peace while you and the better.
Yeah, okay. I kind of knew he wouldn't have anything to say, but I did just want to definitively confirm he had nothing to say, you know?
Researcher Minette, I greet you.
Wait, no, I do want to ask you something. What am I doing?
You return.
Is there anything I...
My healers would benefit from more if you could deliver this list and the items on it to Quartermaster Thren, she could... It may not seem like much, but it would enable my healers...
Fell.
Poor Bloodhounds, got it. Wait.
Mistress Lavelle, do you have a moment? You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald. I hope the Inquisition can restore orders. My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
I found something the demons left behind.
Yes, that's very helpful. You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
So,
I'll speak with
I will say I definitely do prefer...
If you find anything,
so this is kind of like the outfits that the members of the Chantry wear. I greatly prefer these outfits to just the kind of samey robes they wore in the first game.
I should like to know if anyone here has treated you unkindly, Herald, for being an elf. I shall speak with the staff regarding such conduct. If we're to convince the world that Andraste's herald is an elf, the Inquisition... Stories of wild Dalish elves have grown even more outrageous as people learn of you.
How have the rumors gotten worse?
I would prefer not to repeat them.
Give me something.
Stealing children, selling peasants to slavers, burning down villages. Those are the stories about your fellow Dalish. I won't repeat what they've said about you.
The humans telling those tales are the first to take a knife to someone with pointed ear. My clans defended ourselves against them more times than I can count.
No kidding.
Really? I had no idea. I will do what I can to... It may help if I know more about how you and your clan lived.
Getting up before dawn to fish, constantly mending wagons and tents, spending days on the hunt. I still can't believe city dwellers have food delivered straight to their doorsteps.
Really? I never considered it extraordinary. Haven is so far away from home.
Yeah.
You must miss the people of your clan.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Josephine, but we're not romancing her.
If I'd stayed, I'd be
Not
traveling
this
with the
playthrough,
clan for
anyway.
the rest of my days. I wanted my own life.
I have learned one thing. It's that our lives are never entirely our own.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whether you're with them or not, being the clan of the Herald of Andraste will mark them in history.
It's still so strange to me that this game's 11 years old.
The Dalish still worship the gods of our ancestors. When they hear me called the Herald of Andraste, it may stir up anger.
They must see that you move in different circles now. The moment of understanding can be painful.
Alrighty. Okay, I need... Okay, the reason I came back is that to build those watchtowers I was asked to do, I need to do that here on the ward. Ooh, and I've got a power of 6, so I can for sure... Okay, thank you. Accept report. Accept report. Accept report. Oh yeah, I forgot I could go to the Storm Coast before I could... Wait, how much power do I need for this one? Power of 8? Seriously? That was the first one that I think... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we're going to make sure we do this. It's going to take me an hour or 45 minutes.
All right.
It might not be done by the time I need to quit for the night. Okay,
Let's see
got
what
the
we
bog
have.
unicorn. Yay. 1 second. If that's available, there might be Flames of the... Yep. That's another instant. These were like... These are like oh yeah, and now that I've picked up a shard, I can now unlock this place. I want to hold off on spending my point. Oh, yes. Okay, I can get the red heart. The red heart has always been my favorite mount in this game because back in the day it was a GameStop pre-order bonus. So, yeah, I pre-ordered it from GameStop. And it was the, really was the only unique mount that I had besides the horse, because I couldn't figure out how to get some of the other cool mounts at the time. Okay, now we are going to advance the story here, because like I said, after I advance the story here, I can start recruiting the other members of the other playable characters. But other than that... Plus, it will allow me to talk to Cullen.
At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion.
And we should ignore the danger to the Herald.
Let's ask her.
I'm more concerned this won't actually solve any problems.
I agree. It just lends credence to the idea that we should care what the Chantry says.
So,
I will go with her.
Cullen... actually at this point in time has left the Templars and is actually doing his best to beat his lyrium addiction. So that's kind of why he's super anti-Chantry right now. He's not anti-Maker, he's just anti-Chantry.
Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through.
But yeah, after we do this, there's going to be a lot more just running around the hinterlands, just doing stuff. Not as much story for a while after this.
The city still mourns.
Yeah, I'm an
Just
elf.
a guest seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald.
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
How
Only
nice
one
of
thing
them.
to do, then.
Yeah, one thing to do, go flip them off.
They wish to protect the people from us. Return to hate. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
And again, the reason I'm not really stopping to actually read these little things is because I've read them a ton. I have played through this game a lot. So I'm trying to not waste too much of your guys' time, you know? Okay, we will need to walk around town a little bit more after this cutscene, so let's get the cutscene on, and then we'll go from there.
Good people of Val Royal,
I also just realized,
hear me.
well, it's not going to affect this scene at all.
Together,
Cassandra and I are technically making a huge mistake by coming to Orlais in Kuna armor with, Kunari armor with the symbol of the Kunari on it.
You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. The Maker would send no elf in our hour of need.
Racist bitch.
I make no such claim. I wasn't sent here by Andraste or the Maker. I am simply trying to close the breach. It threatens us all.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Fuck you, bitch.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
Was that display supposed to impress me?
On the contrary, it wasn't for you at all.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
Fuck you, bitch.
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement. Raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet. You should be ashamed.
She technically did
You should
no
all
such
be
thing.
ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
If you're not here to help the Chantry, then you just came to make speeches.
I came to see what frightens old women so, and to laugh.
But Lord Seeker, what if she really was sent by the Maker?
I just flat out
What
said
if-
I wasn't.
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing. And the Inquisition, less than nothing.
It's going to be so satisfying when I get to take you apart.
Val Royo is unworthy of our protection. We march.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Yes, actually he has. Because I don't really care about spoiling it because this game's 11 years old. That wasn't Lucius. That was a demon that, killed Lucius and took his place.
Do you know him very well?
In fact, he's taking the Templars to turn them all into literal monsters.
He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
It doesn't look like we'll be getting the Templars to help us after all.
I wouldn't write them off so quickly. There must be those in the Order who see what he's become.
Yeah.
Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
Ever since our divine was murdered, toothless old fools are lost without
Is what
her.
they're saying real?
What are the Grand
That's
Clerics
what we're
doing while
attempting.
the maids
No
are
one is doing anything. The Chantry is useless. Listen, your camp will need food. I have contacts.
You want to help?
Never been part of something this big before, but if your Inquisition's going to seal the...
What do you think, Cassandra?
I think the woman is asking you.
Well, she is.
The Herald of On. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her, if you please.
Head to Haven, then. We need good people.
I love this. It's not used enough throughout the game, but I do love this whole acquiring agents. Like, it's something I always liked about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations? I think that was the... Oh, sorry, I thought I leveled up from that.
What's that? An arrow with a message?
Yeah. I have thoughts.
My maker, know my heart. Take from me a life of sorrow. Oh, maker, look away. I have broken the chant because it comes from my heart. What have we when our divine is dead and the sky burns?
We should question.
Down that road is darkness. But even...
The Templars didn't even touch you.
This victory must please you.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mothers. This is not our doing, but yours.
And you had no part in forcing our... Now we have been shown up by our own Templars. And my fellow clerics have scattered to... Just tell me one thing. If you do not believe you are the Maker's chosen, then what are you?
I'm an elf of the Dalish clans. Nothing more.
That is more comforting than you might imagine. I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
It's not too late. The Chantry could still help us and come out on top.
If only that were true.
What's to stop you from trying?
We are not looking for a winning horse. We are...
And this is why dogmatic religion will always be bad, and you can never convince me otherwise.
Yes, as open as I can be. If you've a need for the well-cut or the sparkling...
Because, I'm sorry, the reason I became so disillusioned with my own religion that I grew up with is because it became very clear everything we were doing, we weren't doing it for, like, a good reason, or because, you know, God or whatever told us to do it. We were doing it because that's the way it's always been done, and that's about it, you know? It's like, I don't... I'm trying to not completely shit on religion and people who are religious, because Abby is, like, I'm not going to get into it. Hold on, I'm going to swap controllers real quick. Is still, I'm not going to say religious, but she is still very spiritual. Just in a different way than how we were both raised. And it brings her a lot of peace. I have kind of embraced being an agnostic in a sense. But for me, at least, the idea of a greater power doesn't really bring me much comfort anymore, you know? Honestly, what's brought me comfort in these past couple of years is my love for people. And, I mean, honestly, I have been looking into Buddhism to some extent as maybe something that I could get into for some actual spirituality, but... Oh, yeah. Vivian. You know, I really like this game. In fact, I'm going to go out of my way to say it's my second favorite Dragon Age game. But it has, without question, two of my least favorite companions in the entire series. I do not have nice things to say about a couple companions in this game. And quite frankly, in my humble opinion, There is no worse companion in all of Dragon Age than Vivian. She is scum. She is one of the biggest hypocrites I have ever had the displeasure of being around in any video game. Like, ooh. The fact that one of my playthroughs, despite the fact that I thought I did everything I could to prevent it, she somehow became the divine at the end of the game. And I'm like, that is the worst possible outcome. So, just for context, at the end of the game, one of 3 people can become the new divine to try to help steer the Chantry back on the right path or whatever. The people are Cassandra is arguably...
I maintain. So yes, shop.
Very.
Then you may leave and purchase things from shops.
Well.
Anyway, Cassandra is probably the good neutral option. Like, she's probably one of the best options you can get, but she's not the absolute best. Vivian is the absolute bottom of the barrel worst. You do not want her as the divine if you can help it. Then the other person can be Liliana. Liliana is interesting because she either can be the absolute best option or the second worst option. Because depending on some of the choices you make throughout the course of the game, Liliana can either become, you know, a much more compassionate and accepting divine, or basically a divine who kills people to silence their voice. That being said, I still only consider, like, I'm going to genuinely try to get Liliana elected as the divine this playthrough, and I'm going to try to get the better route for her, but we'll see if I'm able to pull it off, because it's kind of complicated. But honestly, I know I'm going to sound completely touched in the head, but honestly, having Liliana, like even murdery Liliana as the divine, is still better than having Vivian as the divine, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I'm still a little too poor to purchase almost anything here in Val Royeaux, but we'll be back, and we'll be buying some more stoof. Something I might end up doing, maybe I will, maybe I won't, because there's so many war table things that take genuine lengthy amounts of time to complete, I might and the time does pass for them in real time, even if your system's off. I might pop on...
If I might have a moment of your time.
Just to do more of the war table, as long as it doesn't advance the story. Just to...
Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes.
So...
If it's help with the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
So, just real quick, this is a little bit of a retcon from the first game, and it's not something I think is brought up in this game, but it is revealed in the novel that Fiona was in. Fiona is actually Alistair's biological mother, not whoever the servant girl was that it was believed in the first game. It's not really... I don't think that's ever said aloud in this game, which is why I'm okay telling you that. I mean, okay, this game's 11 years old, so...
You were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
The mages weren't willing to talk to the Inquisition before. Why now?
Because now I've seen what you are. And I've seen the Chantry for what it is. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all. I hope to see you there. Au revoir, my Lady Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven.
Yeah, So... Yeah.
Return to Haven.
What's it called? If you don't side with the mages, Fiona actually has a pretty horrible death. But we'll get into that. It's like we may as well grab them while we're here, but ugh. Of course, we're getting the two worst companions. Again, I consider these two to be the two worst companions of all Dragon Age. And I'm including Anders when I say that. I fucking hate Anders. Bethany is uninteresting, and I know a lot of people hate Carver. These two are worse than all of them. I will take... Yeah, no. Oh, boy.
It's the Inquisition, Harold!
They know who I work with. Who lost the hounds?
I need to play through these games again, or at least this game and Veilguard again, because like part of me is kind of sad that I'm not playing a Kunari, but there's a very good reason why I'm not playing a Kunari. But I love playing them.
How much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
Just say what?
What is that?
Ugh.
Squishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face. So, you followed the notes well enough. Glad to see you're... And you're an elf. Well, hope you're not too elfy.
I
it's all
hate
good,
you.
Isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Sure, why not? I glow. What's going on?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People.
I hate you.
Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it.
Hate
For
you.
the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches.
I hate you so much. Although I do love the detail that they really don't have pants. So that is fun. I do kind of like that about this. That is kind of funny.
Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
Could we take a few moments for sense to reassert itself? Who are you people?
I'm not people, but I get what you want.
Lunch for tomorrow.
Like
Okay, I'm gonna do that
I
after
sent
I'm
you a
done with the
note
stream.
to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I used them to help you. Plus arrows.
The Inquisition has spies already. Can you add to these professionals?
Here's how it is. You important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah, blah, I'll crush you, I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you. Then you've got cloaks and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden. But if you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
Again, the fact that her joining is said you can join for now.
All right, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Like, yes! No joke.
Good
Sarah is the only companion in any BioWare game I've actually rejected in the past. Like, in my first playthrough, I kicked her out of the Inquisition towards the end of the game. In my second playthrough, I kicked her out almost immediately. Like, I really can't stand her. She's not a bad character, though. I do think she's well written. It's just the way she's written pisses me the fuck off. I mean, I guess that's the thing that I do give that both Sarah and Vivian credit. I hate both of their guts because I do think they're well written. It's just they're well written to be detestable pricks that I just can't stand, you know? Well, Vivian's detestable. Sarah's just a pain in the ass. This was something that someone brought up in the first stream when we were just kind of talking about this game and the companions and so on and so forth. They're like, isn't Sarah the character who basically demands you give up your religion if you are an elf? And yeah, if you want to romance Sarah, she never will accept you if you are an elf who embraces, you know, elven heritage, if you know what I mean. And for me, that's just kind of fucked. That she'll only love you if you give up on what could potentially be something very meaningful to you as an elf. Hell, like, part of, like, what got me to finally kick her out of the Inquisition in my original playthrough was she went out of her way to just badmouth these elves because they, you know, were dedicated to serving one of the elven gods, despite the fact that we saw all kinds of proof that the elven god they served did exist at one point. That's the other thing, is that she's constantly getting proof that she's wrong, but she's just like, no, it doesn't fit in my worldview, which it kind of, despite the fact that in many ways she's the opposite from overly conservative, you know, Christian nationalists, but she has the same ridiculous, restricted thought process,
Lady
you know.
Lavellen, on behalf of the Inquisition.
What a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Seeing the same faces at every event becomes so tiresome. So you must be a guest of Madame de Fer, or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
What have you heard about me?
Some say that when the veil opened, Andraste herself delivered you from the Fade.
I don't care what they say about me.
You should. The game has crushed far more powerful institutions than your Inquisition.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
I've never made any claims to holiness. What's your point?
In front of all these people, you admit to being a pretentious usurper. We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a woman of honor, you would step outside and answer the charges.
My dear Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests.
So, this is an
such
aristocrat
rudeness is
who's a mage. Just think about that.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lady, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
The Marquis doesn't interest me. Do whatever you like with him.
Poor Marquis. Issuing challenges and hurling insults like some Ferelden doglord. And all dressed up in your Aunt Solange's doublet. Didn't she give you that to wear to the Grand Tourney? To think, all the brave chevaliers who will be competing left for Markham this morning, and you're still here. Were you hoping to sate your damaged pride by defeating the Herald of Andraste in a public duel? Or did you think her blade could put an end to the misery of your failure? Run along, my dear. Do give my regards to your aunt. I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you.
The feeling is not mutual, lady.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first enchanter of Montsimard, and enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
No, I'm not being nice to you. I'm metagaming here, but I'm not going to be nice to you because you're a bitch.
It is important to consider one's connections carefully. With Divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
You say you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
Christ, I hate you.
So you're in favor of returning the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents? We need an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows. Magic will find neither on its own.
Yeah, fuck you.
Are you devout? What's your opinion of the Chantry?
I was a great admirer of the late Divine Justinia V. The Chantry, at its best, unites the disparate cultures of Thedas.
Blah, blah, blah.
Had she lived, Justinia could have accomplished so.
The Inquisition will be
great things are beginning, my...
So, here's the reason I fucking hate Vivienne, and why I think she's the worst, well, maybe not the worst character, the most hateable character in all of Dragon Age. She is a mage who 100% is in favor of restoring the oppressive circle to Thedas. The reason why this is also pretty fucking stupid, and why she's such a fucking privileged hypocrite, is that we later learn she's actually the mistress of a noble lord. Meaning that even though she technically is part of the circle, she's allowed to leave and go enjoy high society. So she never actually experienced how bad the circle actually can be. So all of her preachings about, oh, mages need a safe place where they can learn, she's never actually experienced how bad the circle actually was. She is a sanctimonious, privileged prick. She's basically she's basically this world's equivalent of a cisgendered white dude in America who happened to be like, oh yeah, when I was, a wee nipper, I happened to be bicurious for a little bit, so I know what it actually is. I hate her. I hate her so much. She embodies everything hypocritical about bullshit faith that's there to police other people, because it's like, well, the world needs to adhere to, if everyone would just agree with me, the world would be a better place, and that type of horse shit.
You left the Templars for this. You believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
You've given this a lot of thought.
I know what happens when order is lost, and action comes too. There's still a lot.
Commander, Sir Raiden has a report on us.
How's that?
Like, honestly, I wouldn't recruit Vivian at all if it weren't for the fact that I would miss out on a number of quests that I don't want to miss out on, because I don't want to miss out on the loot and the experience, But she sucks. Look, I think, I find Sarah to be annoying as hell, and I don't like how she acts towards elves and how she mistreats you if you're playing an elf. I do think it's kind of utter bullshit, and she's also a bitch. But at the same time, I can at the very least sympathize, and I do say sympathize somewhat loosely. Maybe I should say I can understand Sarah's position more. Let me phrase it. I guess I can understand Vivian's position, but I understand that that sort of person is an unreasonable douche canoe.
Need something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, let me... Not character record, inventory. I might as well hand out some of the weapons and stuff that, okay, nothing here that she can actually equip. Armor. Yeah, you can have the stone bear armor. Let's see. Cassandra, I think. Yeah, that's a better sword, so you can have that. Yep. I can't equip that one yet. Yeah, you don't get the better staff. Or at least, I mean, it might... Yeah, Solus gets that. Yeah, you can have that.
Though you had granted them power over...
Sup, asshole.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? That would have been hilarious if you were... Anyway,
what?
Stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for... Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
I'm pretty sure the Conclave...
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, you're a bitch.
Why? Because someone yelled it real loud. Make them prove it. They're
Look,
too busy to look up where the
I
real
don't
questions
disagree
are.
that we need to actually sit down and talk, but people aren't. People are stubborn, and at times people are just straight up evil. Christ, I hate her.
That's why we're here.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it... Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is
I mean,
stupid.
yeah.
And smell...
Really?
Look,
What
you're
everyone
not
needs
wrong.
to get everything back to normal. Sound good to you, old-touched Lady Harold? As long as the job gets done. Fact. Spare the frills, just get it all back to normal. Only plan I've heard, really.
Yeah, except things never can be back to the way things were before. That's another thing I can't stand. And when a lot of people, I tell people why I like, don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, alpha male content creators like, you know, Andrew Catertot or whatever is definitely, like, the content he creates is way more harmful out there. But I absolutely hate, like, tradwife content.
There are a few hard facts,
but
I can share what I've learned.
Because it's all about trying to get things back to a simpler time, even though simpler time, that definition of a simpler time was way more oppressive to lots of different people, you know?
Or when spirits cluster at an area.
Anyway, I'm gonna go grab a chocolate bar while this plays out, because I'm worked up now.
That means it was created deliberately.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice.
Yep.
Spirits wish to join the living. And a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Greetings, Herald of Andraste.
There were so many questions surrounding... He killed Faria. One of my best... You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once. Wait! What are you doing? He betrayed us. He murdered my agent. And you'd kill him. Just like that. You find fault with my decision? We can't solve our problems with murder. And what would you suggest? Leave him be. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this. Now is precisely the time for ideals. You feel very strongly about this. Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives. Now if you're happy, I have more work.
That was a crucial step to getting Liliana to not become a psycho bitch.
The only thing that will come, you have to be that someone. Seal them. Your legend will spread and
because yeah, if I had said nothing or said do it, it would be impossible for her to not become a psycho bitch. Pope, for lack of a better word.
Anything I have nothing to report at the moment. That they did? What of it? What is the point? Justinia would have stopped. She hoped that with enough support, we could... She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change... It's just a thought.
Well, that's a good thought.
None of this will be possible if we fail.
I mean, she
I'm
sounded
sorry she
like
didn't live.
very much what the world actually needed. Because, yeah, Justinia, regardless of my feelings of what the Chantry represents, Justinia was a good woman, and she was trying to make things better. It's kind of the same thing I am right now with the current, I'm going to date this video, and I forget his name, but, like, the current Pope of the Catholic Church. I am not Catholic, and I've never been Catholic, but a lot of the things he's saying about...
I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
It sounds like you did...
Perhaps, but wouldn't you do anything to protect what you love?
But, yeah...
I'd like to hear about...
A friend. It made her human.
But, yeah, or, and then, like, the last Pope...
responded to that.
How did you...
I met her a long time. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved...
We'll talk more.
But yeah, and I say that is because, like, the current Pope is, like, speaking out against injustices and unfair treatment against marginalized groups and whatnot. Or then, like, the previous Pope who got rid of, like, the Golden Throne bullshit.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in a city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
We had to do something, and... Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere. But to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
I could at least find out what the mages want.
No doubt what they've always wanted. Support for their cause.
I mean,
we shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
That does sound odd. I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
Yeah, no problem.
And if he can't?
Besides,
then there may be more going on than we thought.
Again, Blackwell's probably my favorite romance after Solus in this game. So I will happily go meet with Blackwall. Hey, Krem! Oh, Krem is such a great character. And...
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
And it's kind of another reason why I don't get why people are getting all upset about Tosh in the 4th game, because Krem is in this game.
What's the message?
We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bull's charges can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
I love Krem so much. It's shame that canonically, by the developers' headcanon, Krem dies in this game. That being said, I am going to go against what the developers' headcanon is, and I'm going to make sure Krem lives through the game. Sup,
I met
bitch?
an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called.
Yeah, and he's a better
I admit
character
I
than...
was surprised. I didn't... Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
Mages deserve the same freedom.
I hear that. It must be a great comfort to the common folk to know that their survival is trivial compared to our freedom.
Bitch,
I'm sure that
you were free. You did not live under the same oppression that all other mages in the circle did. Don't you fucking dare preach about mage freedom and what they deserve or any bullshit like that. You fucking... I won't say it.
I'm not deciding anything.
Actions have consequences, my dear. Do not... For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands, and now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
Nobody should claim to know the will of the Maker. Not me, and not the Chantry.
Perhaps nobody but if no one leads the way, many will... I've stolen enough of you.
Fuck you. Do you have a quest or anything?
Yes.
Is there anything I can do?
After the circle's fair, I've received news that some tome...
Yeah. I'm not actually trying to help the circle. I just want the experience from that quest. Bitch.
I don't know if it was the carry on who get you that many.
Sigrid says it will cost it.
Greetings.
What do...
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Let's...
If you...
Hello? Can I help you with something? I'll try...
Alrighty. Summon the War Council. I just realized by saying it that way, I mean, yeah, I was trying to mispronounce war for the sake of, you know, haha. Okay, here's what I was talking about, Inquisition perks. Hold on.
My scouts still comb the hills for clues about the explosion. I'll take what I can find.
That's great. Yeah, that's what I need. So I need to have 4 points in this to get access to Deft Hands Fine Tools. Wait, where's the one that increases my pack size? Oh, here it is. So torn, 'cause... No, I'm gonna get the increased inventory. Because that's gonna... Yeah, being able to pick locks is important or whatever, but... Okay, watchtowers are built. Good. Let's see. Cult of Andraste, Red Jenny. Needs bees, I hate you.
All right.
Call back to the first game. Alright, I've got a power of 7, which means I still can access it. I could access the Storm Coast, which I probably do want to do at some point, if for no other reason than just to get Iron Bull.
At your service.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to stream for too much longer, but we are going to, if nothing else, go back to... That was weird. We are going back to the hinterlands just to report that we've done everything for the horse master, just so we can get him to join the Inquisition. Now, for the first time playing this game, I do recommend keeping Cassandra, Solus, and Varric in your party while you explore most of the hinterlands, because there are a number of characters that you can meet in the hinterlands that you can recruit as agents, but you do need certain characters in your party to talk them into it. And Cassandra, Varric, and Solus are... I don't remember if Cassandra is, but I know that Varric and Solus each have characters that they can get to join the Inquisition, so... Just, yeah, if you end up playing this game yourself, just keep that in mind. So yeah, that's Blackwall. Seeing red. Seeing red. There's Redcliffe. There's the... Yeah. So, going to Redcliffe and making contact with the mages is not going to actually commit me to siding with the mages. It's just going to open up the war table operation to potentially side with the mages. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. We can do that at a later time. Fast travel.
If those refugees are going to defend themselves, they'll need real defenses. I've got a few ideas.
I've built watchtowers.
Nicely done. That'll give both your refugees and our farmers some... I'll speak to the master and have weapons sent...
Kalu Kalay.
Elena says you got rid of those demon-cursed... You've held up your end of our bargain, Inquisition. You'll have my whole stable in good hands to go...
You sent your stable hands and your horses to the...
Well, you've cleaned up the area, and... Still, it feels wrong to abandon my land...
Right, Cassandra's needed to get him to join the Inquisition.
Are you Andrastian? This is a matter of faith. The make...
I've heard some things about you lot. All right, Inquisition. I'll look to your horses myself. Just let me settle matters here and say goodbye to my...
Yeah, so you need Cassandra to get him. That being said, I think you can come back and recruit him. Like, if you don't have Cassandra in your party, like, right now, you're not gonna, like, permanently miss out on him. But, like, the ones you need Solus for and the one you need Varric for, you can miss them. So I guess if nothing else, that means I can actually drop Cassandra for Blackwall once I recruit him, if I wanted to. I mean, because I like both... I don't know. I'm torn. I like both characters. I do know... I don't think I'm going to... So, what I'm torn about right now is I know I want Varric and Solus in my party for the whole playthrough. Like, they're not leaving my party. Varric's going to be my rogue, and Solus is going to be my mage and healer. But what I'm not so sure about is what should my fourth party slot be. Because I'm of the opinion you don't want two rogues in your party for the most part, just because they don't provide... They're kind of squishy. So I've often been like, oh, use two mages or use two warriors. Now, since I am a warrior, that already fills one of those two slots, which means, okay, do I now use Dorian or Vivian? Yes, I know I hate Vivian, but her special class is very useful. And have two mages. Yeah, I know we haven't recruited Dorian yet. Or do I have two warriors and have me plus Blackwall or Cassandra? I'm not going to use Iron Bull this playthrough for a few reasons. Or Abby has actually suggested maybe I should do Cole as my fourth party member. But that would give me two rogues, which I normally don't like doing. But Abby has also pointed out that Cole and Solus do have some rather interesting dialogue options, so that might be worth it. I don't know. I've never played a game with two rogues. Just like I said, it's not something I like doing just for stat balancing reasons, you know? But, I don't know. Okay, we are going to... Actually, no. If anyone's wondering, one of our quests is ram's meat. So I saw ram, so I wanted to get its meat. Getting ram's meat will help feed the refugees.
I do not believe these are simply bandits. Their armor and training suggest something deeper.
I know that's a ram there, but we're under attack, so... I chose to get that throw attack instead of working towards combat roll. Just 'cause, what the...
It must have been some time since the renegade Templars faced a mage of any talent.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair statement, I think. That's blood. Yeah, it's blood lotus. I need that for requisition, so I'm gonna grab as much of that as I can. Then again, I just want to grab as many resources as I can in general, since they're all pretty useful at some point or another. Blood lotus. Excuse me, I'm just gonna steal.
Remember how to carry your shields. You're not hiding, you're holding. Otherwise, it's useless.
I love you,
Blackwall? Warden Blackwall?
You're not. How do you know my name? Who said that? That's it. Help or get out. We're dealing with these idiots first. Conscripts, here they come.
So if anyone who remembers my Dragon Age 2 stream, there was a villain in the Assassins DLC, the one that existed solely to promote Felicia Day's web series. I kind of felt Duke Gaspard, or Blackwall kind of resembles Duke Gaspard from that DLC.
Sorry, bastards. Good work, conscripts. Even if this shouldn't have happened, they could have... Well, thieves are made, not born. Take back what they stole. Go back to your families. You saved yourselves.
I love Blackwall.
You're no farmer. Why do you know my name? Who are you?
I know your name because I'm an agent of the Inquisition. I'm investigating whether the disappearance of Wardens has anything to do with the murder of the Divine.
Maker's balls. The Wardens and the Divine. That can't... No, you're asking so you don't really know. First off, I didn't know they disappeared. But we do that, right? No more blight, job done. Wardens are the first thing forgotten. But one thing I'll tell you, no Warden killed the Divine. Our purpose isn't political.
I'm not here to accuse. Not yet. I just need information. I've only found you. Where are the rest?
I haven't seen any Wardens for months. I travel alone, recruiting. Not much interest because the Archdemon is a decade dead, and no need to conscript because there's no blight coming. Treaties give Wardens the right to take what we need, who we need. These idiots forced this fight, so I conscripted their victims. They had to do what I said, so I told them to stand. Next time, they won't need me.
And this is why I like
Grey
Blackwall.
Wardens can inspire. Make you better than you think you are.
I'm gonna flirt with them.
Well, thank you, Warden Blackwall. But now where does this leave us?
I don't get how that was a flirting response.
Inquisition. Agent, did you say? Hold a moment. The Divine is dead and the sky is torn. Events like these, thinking we're absent is almost as bad as thinking we're involved. If you're trying to put things right, maybe you need a Warden. Maybe you need me.
Warden Blackwall, the Inquisition accepts your offer.
Good to hear. We both need to know what's going on. And perhaps I've been keeping to myself for too long. This warden walks with the Inquisition.
Yeah, fuck it. I love Cassandra, but I love Blackwall. So, I'm gonna use Blackwall. I figured out that charge skill's not that great, so I'm not gonna do that. That's two-handed. Don't think I've got any good weapons or armor for him, since I've already kind of divvied most of those out, but still. That's not... yeah, that's not better than anything I've personally got equipped, so... I think you already got a helmet. Yeah, let's give that to Solus. That's better. Right. So everyone does have these, like, amulets of power that they can get. That just gives them some, I think, gets them an extra stat boost. You know, hold on. Yeah. If for no other reason, then I can at least wear this armor. Blackwall can't. So I'll give him that armor that I crafted for myself, just so... I mean, yes, I know I got that Chevalier armor, so he wasn't, like, stuck in his default starting gear, but still, you know what I mean. Okay. We are going to be ending the stream once I'm done looting. I might be done looting. Yeah. So again, thank you for this not really planned at all bonus stream that I decided to do. Yeah, I don't think there'll be any more bonus streams this week, just due to scheduling, life, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to get a little more in of Dragon Age Inquisition, because I had to do such a short stream on Saturday because me and Abby went to a con later that day. But yeah, Abby should be streaming this Wednesday, barring unforeseen circumstances. And I'll be streaming my normal this weekend, barring unforeseen circumstances. So yeah, I'm not sure when, but I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.